Welcome everyone. This is a next level cloud presentation from OVH. My name is Rob Engel and I am the Director of Technical Marketing for OVH US. As we go through, please feel free to submit questions in the chat box and we will do a Q&A period at the end. And if there are any other questions that we can't get to, we will follow up with those answers as soon as we can after the presentation. I am really thrilled to have the opportunity to speak with you today. We are incredibly excited to show you how OVH is a global hyperscale cloud provider that can help you with your cloud modernization journey. I would like to show you just how OVH is a global hyperscale cloud provider, how you can leverage your VMware investment for your future cloud needs, and show you some use case options on how you can leverage OVH. I'm sure I don't have to tell any of you how important the cloud has become and will continue to be. You have already invested at some level in the cloud infrastructure, but the cloud isn't static. It is ever evolving. According to two reports, when we look at the cloud landscape, 85% of customers are looking at a multi-cloud strategy, and 65% of customers still have on-premise workloads and will for quite a while. Every organization is different, so why should their cloud strategy be the same? Although the options for infrastructure have changed since we first heard the term cloud, the expectations that people have for what cloud can do for them really is not. The Gartner report from August 2017 states that customers expect four main advantages in their cloud partner. First advantage is application agility, or the ability to move workloads as needed. Number two, cost savings. Everybody wants to cut costs, especially around hardware, to free up money to handle other projects. Number three, retiring obsolete hardware, wanting to get off that old hardware and onto new. Number four, a global presence to expand with you as your business grows. First, let's talk a little bit about OVH to help you set the scene. The company was literally founded by a family of engineers. The Klaba family moved from communist Poland to democratic France. To them, freedom means everything, and their philosophy when it comes to technology is innovation can bring you that freedom. In 1999, Octave, who's pictured second from the right, founded OVH. As the company grew, they realized that the only way a small company can survive is by innovating how they build and deliver technology. So he enlisted his family to help him grow the business. Their continued innovation is reflected in every fiber of who OVH is as a company. It drives every decision that we make and every customer interaction that we have. In this presentation, we'll also take a look at some of the places where innovation has truly set us free and truly brought value to our customers. Like most people, you're probably thinking, who is OVH? In the US, we like to say we are the largest cloud provider you've never heard of. With nearly 20 years of experience, the numbers reflect that a company built on this idea of innovation can truly be successful. OVH is the largest web hosting provider in Europe and the third largest globally. OVH is a global hyperscale cloud provider. So let's go over what that means. Global means we have the reach to provide our customers resources as close to wherever in the world they need to be, and we have the experience working with the customers from anywhere. Because we have 1.3 million customers in 138 countries, running in 27 current data centers, with more on the way, we are a global provider. What does hyperscale mean? Hyperscale means we provide our customers with the means to deploy resources quickly and in an automated fashion to meet their business needs. We have industry-leading deployment times for all of our cloud products. Cloud provider with 200,000 private cloud VMs running, and the second largest OpenStack deployment in the world, with 500,000 public cloud instances deployed in a single month, we can easily say we are a cloud provider. And speaking of being a global cloud provider, we have an aggressive data center plan and are constantly growing. By the end of 2017, we will have 27 data centers in 8 countries. We will continue to expand and accelerate our data center growth with 50 data centers planned by the end of 2020. We have over 300,000 servers as of today with a capacity of 1.3 million, and that's in our 2016 data center footprint. That's not including 2017 or what we're projected to do by 2020. That means we have a lot of capacity to grow in the current data center All of this running on a backbone of our current 12 terabit per second network that will continue to grow as our data center expansion plan grows. The goal is to bring all of this innovation and excitement to the US market and to you. But the US is not a new thought. OVH has been working to enter the US market since 2013, when we launched one of the largest data centers in North America, located in Montreal. This growth was accelerated in 2016 when OVH received $250 million in funding to help build this global footprint. In 2016, OVH also acquired vCloud Air to help accelerate the innovation and market entry. The strategy in the US is to go big. We are so excited to bring our first data center onto US soil to bring this innovation to the US market. We want to help customers like you to build the cloud infrastructure that meets your needs. OVH is ready to compete. We have the world's largest cloud market with some of the world's biggest players and some of the world's biggest customers. So now you've seen the plan. Who do we have that can bring that plan to reality? The US team has an experienced team of leaders who have vast experience in the enterprise and cloud spaces, and specifically in hosting, with companies like AT&T, Oracle, GoDaddy, and VMware. Not to mention, the executive team has known and worked together for a long time in some of those previous companies. That is the familiarity and experience you need to execute on a plan like ours. Our foundation of success in the US has been built on great customer experiences with current vCloud Air customers. We are excited to expand on that success with potential customers like you. We have the experience with customers like you and will grow on that success. Here you can see a small sampling of those customers. OVH is passionate about our customers. Most of the innovation you will see and experience has come from customer need. We don't assume to know what you need. OVH talks and listens to our customers. So let's talk about the innovation that sets OVH apart. So what does this mean to you? The idea of meeting your unique cloud needs is key, and OVH supports that from the ground up, and I mean that in the most literal sense. OVH believes in vertical integration. To start, we build our own servers, and I'm not talking about just putting together parts. I'm talking about laser cutting, bending the sheet metal to our own server and rack designs. We then have direct relationships with Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, and Supermicro, and other manufacturers to get the best price, lead times, and access to new products. We build our servers to our specs to be the highest performance and with the least power consumption. Those are the servers we install for our customers, and this is the foundation of our vertical integration. Continuing the journey of innovation, we also build our own data centers. We generally build from scratch or take over manufacturing warehouses. Sometimes they are towers like the one you see in the middle, that's our OVH data center in Roubaix. Some it's a Trader Joe's model, where we acquire an old building and make it our own. But inside our data centers are containers that we also build ourselves. The reason we build these containers is so we can logically and physically group servers by type and by their power, water, and network consumption. But speaking of water, we control water because we water cool our servers. OVH uses green technology. We use water to cover 70% of the heat dissipation of the CPUs. We actually have a proprietary heat sink on the CPU that uses water to transfer the heat. We don't use fans. Water is a much better conduit for heat transfer than air. The 30% of air cooling that we do use is ambient air, not chilled air. In the picture on the right, you can see the red and blue tubes. The blue tubes have cool water that run to the processor sink, and the red tubes carry the water out to be cooled and recycled through again. This method allows us to not have to adhere to overly strict building codes for AC forced air, raised floors, and the like, which again helps us control costs for our customers. The next piece of the OVH innovation story is the network and security. We own our own network. And what I mean by that is, we actually own the fiber that wraps around the globe and connects our data centers. Further, we take our security very seriously, both the physical security of our data centers, but also the security of the servers on the network. To that end, we have the 12 terabits per second and growing network capacity on our backbone, 4 of which is dedicated to our anti-DDoS mitigation product that we built because the products that we used before did not meet our customers' increasing demands. So we built our own. The innovation story doesn't just end there. We have incredible investment in our provisioning and automation, the technology that lets us spin up services in minutes, and we have adopted technology standards like OpenStack and the VMware stack to promote portability. Want another perspective on the OVH's fit in the market? Ovum is an independent analyst organization, and they took a look at the leaders in the space. They looked at the provider's technology, data center presence in the market, and their ability to execute. OVH ranked third in North America, and this was with only our Canadian data center online. We were also individually called out for our power usage effectiveness, or PUE score. Basically, the PUE score rates how much power you use to run your servers, and that'll give you a baseline of 1. Then the supporting infrastructure like AC, networking equipment, things like that gets added to the 1. So the closer you are to 1, the more efficient you are with your power. Essentially, we don't waste power, and therefore we don't waste money to air cool our servers. This is a direct result of our water cooling technology. OVH has also been named Global Service Provider of the Year 5 of the last 6 years by VMware. This isn't awarded just by selling the most software licenses. This is awarded for technology innovation and delivery to customers. So you can see, we are not new to VMware. Now let's take a minute and introduce you to the OVH product lines. OVH has 3 cloud product lines: private, public, and bare metal. Each has the basics of cloud, ability to spin up services on demand, and pay as you go. Hosted private cloud is based on the VMware stack, and we use this line as the foundation for serving our disaster recovery, data center extension, and data center replacement solutions. Our public cloud services are based on OpenStack, and our dedicated or bare metal server line is the foundation of all of the other services. We support these 3 with the industry-leading network and security solutions. Now let's look at some product details for dedicated servers. Dedicated or bare metal servers. We have 5 lines of specialized servers to support your needs. We have infrastructure servers, an all-around solid performance server for entry-level and enterprise workloads. We have an HA or high availability, which is fully customizable RAM and storage to fit almost any need or workload. We have storage servers that you can pack full of hard drives for all your storage and backup needs. We have GPU servers, which have the latest in GPU technology for your most CPU-intensive apps like AI and 3D rendering. And last but not least, we have game servers for your high-frequency desktop servers. You also get access to a catalog of over 90 operating systems and hypervisors, as well as deployment times of minutes instead of days. Just think about how awesome it would be if you needed a latest generation fully dedicated bare metal server and you were able to get it in just a few minutes. Now let's talk about our public cloud offering. As we said before, our public cloud is powered by OpenStack. We have our sandbox instances, which are shared resources and are great for dev test workloads. And as the name indicates in the other lines, we have a general purpose instances are a good mix of CPU performance and RAM size. And CPU instances come with high performance compute, and RAM instances come with higher RAM configurations. These last 3 are all dedicated and guaranteed resource instances, which are great for production level workloads and can be provisioned just as quickly as shared resource instances for quick burst needs in any configuration and performance class you need. You also get full access to the OpenStack API to achieve a full level of automation. Now let's discuss hosted private cloud. If you have VMware deployed on-premise, this is the section you will be most interested in. Hosted private cloud is built on the industry standard VMware SDDC stack, or software-defined data center. When hosted private cloud is purchased and provisioned, it will come pre-deployed with VMware's SDDC stack, including vCenter, NSX, and the option of VROps. The new OVH hosted private cloud product line will be built on current generation Intel processors, plus all the latest VMware and support software bells and whistles. DR will include new methods of replication, like the new HCX product from VMware, to support a wide range of workloads from back office to business critical applications. You can also bring your own replication option, or we have a partnership with Zerto and can automatically install it for you. Although not listed here, we can provide Veeam for backup of your hosted private cloud for cloud to cloud or on-premise to cloud backups. Then you couple all of that with our industry-leading deployment times, and you get the highest performing, most configurable environment at the best possible value. And with our hosted private cloud solution, it is easier than ever to bring your current VMware workloads to the cloud. Why? Because it's exactly the same. We have automated the deployment of the hardware and the software. You will be able to leverage the same technology, software, and expertise you have invested in and are using in your current environments. No need to refactor an application or require your employees to learn a new platform or technology. Are you using DRS or HA, VXLAN or NSX? Bring it over, it'll work. No unnatural workarounds or conversions needed to make it work. This will greatly increase your cloud journey objectives. Now let's talk about our additional OVH product lines, like network and security. Let's first talk a little bit about the network services. OVH provides a number of different services to get you connected to OVH and your cloud resources and protect those resources and your data, such as IP load balancing, so you can spread resources across the same or dispersed data centers to spread customer requests or possible failover option if need to do maintenance on one site. Anti-DDoS to help mitigate your risk of DDoS attacks and keep your services available at all times. HCX, which can help you optimize WAN connections and enable a hybrid network approach. vRAC Connect, so you can connect your on-premise resources to your OVH cloud. vRAC, private LANs, to group services connect virtually and communicate privately, as well as failover IPs and blocks of IPs with one-time setup fees and no monthly charges. As we all know, network and security go hand in hand. So at each data center, we've implemented our own anti-DDoS solution we refer to as our VAC system, which is short for the way it vacuums traffic into itself to filter during an attack. This is another way that innovation as freedom was key. Previously, we utilized a third-party solution to help with DDoS attacks. But when we went to implement some added protection measures in front of it, what we found was the solution we created both outperformed the third parties and could scale much higher in size. We've since included this into each of our data centers, and during an attack, we can scale horizontally and pull traffic into each of these data centers and spread that attack load to filter traffic before sending the legitimate traffic to its destination data center over our backbone. If you don't know, the average DDoS attack lasts between 4 and 24 hours and can cost companies from $20,000 to $90,000 per hour. So OVH takes security seriously and protects customers with our VAC system, all included within the service. Let me say that again. We will not charge you an additional multi-thousand-dollar a month fee to protect you. It's included. Want proof that anti-DDoS works? In 2016, over 145,000 hacked objects initiated the largest coordinated DDoS attack in history. It reached bandwidth peaks of 1 terabit per second. This attack resulted in customers at a number of other cloud providers losing connectivity or being null routed by network providers until the attack finished. OVH customers, on the other hand, never lost connectivity. Some remote customers did see a slowdown in traffic because of the internet congestion, but no customer was ever null routed or lost complete connectivity while being an OVH customer. So to enable communication between our hosted private cloud, dedicated servers, and public cloud environments, and make it as simple as possible for our customers, OVH has again innovated a unique solution we refer to as vRAC. vRAC is a private LAN solution available with all of our cloud products. All a customer needs to do is select the environment they want to communicate with one another and add them to the same vRAC segment in our customer portal. It's as easy as drag and drop. We automate the configuration of our physical switches to allow all environments on the same vRAC to share the same VLAN space. So you can have your VMware environment, bare metal servers, and public cloud all communicating in the same networking space. No need for adding additional routing complexities. To take this even further, since we own our own backbone between data centers, we've enabled this exact same functionality between data centers as well, no matter where you are around the globe. vRack Connect allows our customers to bring their own private connections to an OVH POP per data center and connect their OVH environments to communicate with their on-premise workloads. You can terminate at layer 3 and peer with BGP over those lines, or OVH can help you take this a step further by trunking your on-premise VLANs at the POP, allowing your on-prem and OVH cloud products to all share the same network space. So we have identified 3 customer use cases where OVH is a great fit, but we'd love to see and hear what you would use OVH for. These are 3 use cases our customers are using OVH for, but there are many more. Disaster recovery. No need to build an expensive data center to provide business continuity in case of a disaster. Buy only what you need with OVH and get additional resources when you need them using our DR products and industry-leading deployment times. Data center extension. If you are challenged to address fluctuating IT capacity requirements leading to over or under provisioning of your on-premise environment, or are unable to scale workloads up and down to meet the needs of your business, one of the OVH cloud offerings can meet your needs. Data center replacement. Have too many data centers due to mergers and acquisitions, or is it time for a hardware refresh? And you want to see how a cloud solution can help you cut costs? OVH can help you evaluate a data center replacement option. So now that you've seen the OVH product line and gotten some quick details on them, let's see how we did in meeting those key expectations of cloud providers. So let's go back and look at the Gartner 4 points. Number 1, application agility. OVH can help enable needed application agility with HCX, vRack, and industry-leading deployment times. Cost savings. Our green technology and building our own servers help to translate with cost savings for us and to our customers. Number 3, retiring obsolete hardware. Get out of the CapEx game and move to the OVH cloud and get new generation hardware for the ever-increasing workload performance needs. And number 4, global presence. You know the story, 27 data centers, 33 POPs, 12 terabits per second backbone, 1.3 million customers worldwide with an aggressive expansion plan for the next 3 years. I think we did pretty good. So let's look at some of the questions that came in, see if we can answer some of them. See what we got. Okay, first question is, what is your association with OVH Group? So OVH OVH US is a completely separate company under OVH Group. We have our own board of directors and we have our own executive team. So OVH Group and OVH US can provision into all the data centers that are owned by OVH, but all the customer data is kept completely separate for data privacy, data protection, Patriot Act type of things. But OVH US is a completely separate company. And like I said, we have our own board of directors, which some of them are from OVH Group, but we are a completely separate company. Let's see, how long will it take to set up a connection to OVH with vRack Connect? There's really no, when you think about setting up a circuit, it depends. So the longest process is always going to be getting the circuit in place with your provider to one of our data centers, one of our POPs. From that point on, once that connection is in place, actually getting vRack set up over that is fairly simple. So as with any other circuit that you've ever had installed or provisioned, it can take, depending on your agreement with your provider, it could take 15, 20 days, it could take 2 months. It's something that I would definitely, if you're looking to do that, I would definitely get that process started as soon as possible. Let's see, can my servers communicate at layer 2 when they are enabled with vRack in OVH data centers? Quick answer is yes. When you are talking about connecting a vSphere environment, they can be set up to communicate at layer 2 over our vRack and backbone. So what I mean there is that if you have resources provisioned in two of the OVH data centers, or in the same data center or in multiple data centers, we can set up vRack between those data centers or between those resources, and you can communicate at layer two. Next question, do you have Hyper-V images? Yes, we do. In our dedicated server line, we have Hyper-V that can be in our catalog that can be provisioned. You just go in when you provision or when you install the operating system to your dedicated server, you just select Hyper-V, and it'll provision that with Hyper-V. Let's see. Mm, what are your plans to open additional data centers in the US? So OVH US is, I mean, we're always looking at, just same as OVH Group, we're always looking at the where our customers want to be, where they need us, to be that global hyperscale provider. Right now, OVH US is just focused on our two data centers that we have, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, but and having a successful launch. But as we get a little further down the road, there may be some projects that are going on right now to that are under development to understand where the next need is. So yes, there will be, just don't know where those will be yet.
So thank you for joining us. I know we went through a lot of information fairly quickly, and we didn't get too awfully deep into anything, but I hope it was a good gives you a good general understanding of who OVH is, where we come from, and what our mission is, and gives you an understanding of how we can help you along the way. So if there's any questions that we didn't get a chance to get to, we'll follow up those individuals directly and get those questions answered through your registration contact information. Um, if there's anything that comes up that you think about afterwards, or if you just want to talk about next steps, please give us a call at the 1-844 number that's on your screen, and you'll be routed to a sales rep and a technical resource that should be able to answer all your questions and give you any next steps or start talking about what we can do for you. So thank you very much, and look forward to working with you more. Thanks.